Welcome back to AI for the Humanities. I'm Megan McInnes Dominguez, Associate Professor of Spanish at the University of Delaware. And this channel is your go-to resource for exploring the intersection of generative AI and humanities education. Whether you're new to AI or have been experimenting with these technologies, you'll find valuable insights and practical tips here. Join us as we navigate this exciting frontier, exploring how the humanities can contribute to and benefit from the AI revolution. Today, I'm delighted to reintroduce Catherine Komp, a senior here at the University of Delaware, majoring in civic leadership and policy studies with a minor in Spanish. Catherine has been one of our exceptional interns in the AI for the Humanities internship program, where she explored Google Gemini during late spring. This is Catherine's second video for our channel. In her first video, Catherine introduced us to Google Gemini and how it compares to other major LLMs. Today, she's taking us much deeper, demonstrating three powerful features: deep research, GEMs, which are customized AI assistants, and image analysis and generation. She'll walk us through recent model updates, compare Gemini's performance across different tasks, and provide crucial guidance on the ethical considerations that must inform our use of these tools. Catherine addresses key concerns about bias, accuracy, plagiarism, citation practices, and environmental impact, reminding us that AI should enhance rather than replace the critical thinking, cultural nuance, and emotional intelligence that define humanities' work. Whether you're a student streamlining your research workflow, an educator considering responsible AI integration, or simply curious about what Google's AI offers humanities disciplines, this video provides practical guidance grounded in humanistic values.
Hello and welcome back to the AI for the Humanities YouTube channel. My name's Catherine and I'm an intern this semester researching Google Gemini. My last video was an overview and introduction to Gemini, so if you haven't seen that yet, I would recommend heading over and watching that first, then coming back here. Previously, we went over its main features, the various models and tiers within the Gemini umbrella, how it compares to other LLMs, and it was an introduction to how it can be used for the humanities. But today, we're diving much deeper. We'll explore some more advanced Gemini features with practical demos, as well as discuss some recent updates and compare it to other AI in a more deeper way. I'll also share tips for writing effective prompts, and most importantly, we'll focus on how you can effectively and ethically use Gemini to streamline your workload and enhance your studies and research in the humanities. Before we jump into demos, let's quickly cover some updates released since my last video. Google's constantly updating and refining the models available and adding new features, so let's talk about what's new. The free version's main model, 2.0 Flash, got an update in mid-April, and this was aimed at making it more conversational and fluid to rival the likes of ChatGPT and Claude. We also now have access to the 2.5 Flash and 2.5 Pro models. The Pro is still experimental at the time of this recording, but these are available in the free tier. 2.5 Pro is positioned to eventually replace their flagship 2.0 Pro model, available under the $19.99 a month advanced tier, and it reportedly debuted at number 1 on LM Arena, which is a leaderboard that compares and ranks different AI models. A key difference in the 2.5 models is they're focused on enhanced reasoning. They're designed to think and process more deeply before responding, especially for complex tasks. Also exciting is the release of Veo 2, Google's new high-resolution AI video generator. For now, it's restricted to advanced users, and it can create short clips of up to 8 seconds. While I can't demo it today because we're focusing on the free features, it is an exciting development, and with Google's trend of bringing premium features to all of their users fairly quickly, fingers crossed, it will be more widely available soon. Alright, now let's see what Gemini can really do for humanities work. Today we'll look at 3 features and how they can be applied for our work as students: deep research, GEMs, and image analysis/generation. Imagine you're looking to understand and research the impact of the printing press on the Renaissance in Europe. That's a huge topic, and it can be hard to find specific information. Instead of opening a million tabs, let's try Gemini's deep research feature. Okay, first I'll type in the prompt to provide a deep research report on the impact of the printing press on the spread of humanist ideas during the European Renaissance, including key figures, concepts, and geographical areas affected. The more specific you can be, the better, as it helps Gemini know exactly what you're looking for and to not waste time with other information you don't want or need. We'll talk more about how to do this later when we discuss prompt engineering. After I enter the prompt, Gemini will give me a research plan, which I can either edit or accept. I looked over it here and I'm able to accept it. It's able to search the web and analyze sources to compile a report then with its findings, which I can use to get a good understanding of the topic and do my own research afterwards. It's a great tool to get started when you're looking for a complex topic and you don't know how to tackle it. So here you can see it started its research and it can show me its thinking as it goes along. It's created an overview here broken down by region, and we can see how it's thinking about the various different steps. It's scrolling along. It does take a minute sometimes, but you can see the different parts. Uh, it's looking through, and also all of the sources that it brings up, as well as other topics it's going to look over. In just a minute here, it will be able to generate the report, and I'm scrolling through to see what it's brought up. You can also click on the sources as they're listed to get more information and to fact check to make sure that you're getting correct information. Okay, here we go. This is the final report it's compiled. It has the title as well as all the sections that I asked for, and this can be a great starting point. As you can see, it's included things like a timeline here on the various key aspects of the report as well as key figures. And as we're moving along, you can see the sources here. It searched over 200, so you can look through the names, check information, and make sure that it's credible. But this again should be just looked at as like a starting point for research, which you can dive into deeper, and I can export it easily to Google Docs, which makes it really easy to use. Next, I want to show you how to use gems. These are customized versions of Gemini that you can use to make experts in a given task. Here I'm going to make one for literary analysis. Okay, I'm calling this one Literary Analysis Expert, and but you can call it whatever you want and have it specialize in whatever example you want. So I'm telling it you're an AI assistant specializing in literary analysis. When giving a passage or a theme, identify examples of the theme, explain the literary devices used, and discuss the potential significance. Then I'm going to ask it to analyze two excerpts from Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities for the theme of power. And once I do that, I'm able to save the gem and then have it answer some of the questions that I'm looking for. Um, I'm pulling, I'm having it do this for literary analysis here. It is the Humanities application, but you can certainly use it for whatever example or topic you're interested in. I've used it in the past for psychology research or having it come up with example quizzes or things to study for exams. So it definitely has a lot of different applications. So once I get this in here, I'm able to have it try and go to work and save the gem. So I've uploaded the excerpt and I will have it analyze it. It doesn't take too long, but it gives me the general themes. And as you'll see here, it comes up with both the themes of power and ways that it comes through, as well as other things like comparison and other aspects. It gives me a summary, as well as the descriptions of the power dynamics. And this is true of both excerpts. We got literary devices like symbolism and imagery, and the significance in the greater text, like I had asked for. And this is just one example, but you can use it for a lot of different things. Gemini can also generate and analyze images, which can be an amazing tool for presentations or for visualizing a concept, but you do have to use it thoughtfully and with caution. Here I'll tell it, generate an image of a group of students talking in the style of a Renaissance painting. I can also tell it something like generate a diagram illustrating the social hierarchy of feudal Europe, or generate an image of Charles Darnay from London in Tale of Two Cities or something to get an idea of what that scene might look like. But as you can see here, the result generally captures the aesthetic or general concept of what I was looking for. You could use this, for example, in a presentation or maybe to brainstorm ideas for artwork you might create, though you should never use AI artwork as your own. It can also analyze images, so if I upload an image of a historical document or prominent artwork, Gemini can describe it, look for themes, and transcribe text. As always, verify its analysis with reliable sources before accepting it at face value, but it can be a great resource. Now let's look at how Gemini compares to some competing LLMs, including ChatGPT, Claude, and Copilot. Gemini's biggest competition is ChatGPT, OpenAI's multimodal LLM that has very similar features and functions and a lot of popularity. An older study that tested how accurately Gemini 1.5 Flash, ChatGPT 4, Copilot free version, and Claude could answer neuroscience questions compared to students found that Gemini was the least accurate of the group, with only 53.6% of the questions answered correctly. However, since it was published, Gemini has released several significant updates, including 2.0 Flash, 2.5 Flash, and 2.0 Pro that have improved performance and accuracy, as well as added additional research and analysis tools that were not available last year when this was published. A more recent study tested how Gemini Advanced compared to ChatGPT 4 in understanding and answering questions about a large data set of ophthalmology residency exams, and found that Gemini Advanced outperformed ChatGPT 4 in accuracy, medical knowledge, and the depth of its insights. Humans, however, still considerably outperform AIs on these tests, so it is important to always review outputs for accuracy and to do your own research. Gemini also perform better at basic productivity tasks like brainstorming, writing assistance, literary analysis, and image generation, while ChatGPT leads in being less likely to produce hallucinations and is overall better at coding and producing a conversational tone. Next, Anthropic's Claude is known for its emphasis on safety and providing helpful and harmless responses, including reducing bias in its responses, which has been an issue for other LLMs. It excels especially in the long-form content area, including generating and processing long-form texts, and has a large context window from inception. However, where Gemini is focused a lot on multimodality with its ability to upload and process images, audio, and video, Claude is a little less developed in this area, and it may not be as integrated as ChatGPT and Gemini with ecosystems as a whole. Finally, Microsoft Copilot was specifically designed to assist with coding tasks like providing code completions, suggestions, and explanations, and it's particularly useful for code developers because of its deep integration in developmental environments. Because of this, it does have a slightly more limited scope than Gemini and other LLMs, like the ones mentioned before, which can make it less versatile, but it certainly is a standout in its intended purpose of being designed for coding. It is also increasingly good at general knowledge questions as well. In a 2025 study that tested Gemini, Copilot, and ChatGPT's accuracy on cardiovascular pharmacology, multiple choice questions found it performed similarly to the others on easy and medium questions and outperformed Gemini and ChatGPT on the hard questions, indicating its growing potential for use outside of only development environments. When considering which is the quote-unquote best AI model, it's also important to consider factors like integration with other tools. For example, Gemini is easily integrated in the Google ecosystem, things like Docs, Sheets, Gmail, etc., which can be a significant advantage for students who are already familiar with using Google products. Ultimately, the best LLM for you depends on your specific needs and priorities, and I encourage you to go watch the other videos posted on this channel to learn more about the other models to make your decision. When using AI, it is necessary to understand and consider ethics, especially for humanities students using it for writing or research. This includes considering bias and accuracy of a model, as well as understanding how to properly cite your work to avoid plagiarism. AI models, including Gemini, are trained on data which can contain bias. This means that it can have skewed perspectives, perpetuate stereotypes or biases, and present historically inaccurate information. It's your responsibility as an ethical user to critically evaluate any outputs for inaccuracy and bias to ensure any and all of your work that you submitted is correct, original, and free of AI's biases. We talked a little about the potential for historical inaccuracy in the last video with image generation, so be on the lookout and make sure you triple check your information, especially for academic work. And this goes without saying, but do not submit AI-generated work as your own. University and school policies on AI do vary a lot, so check your school's guidelines, but it's important to remember that this is a tool to help you do better work, not to do your work for you. It is amazing for things like brainstorming and getting started on research, drafting, those sort of things, but your final work, analysis, and thoughts should be your own. AI cannot recreate the critical thinking, emotional intelligence, or cultural nuance that is necessary for the humanities. Similarly, citing AI when you use it significantly, like for generating text summaries or using its analysis, it is super important when talking about ethical use to avoid plagiarism. Citation styles like MLA and Chicago are working on, or may have already published, depending on when this video is posted, formats for citing AI tools, and transparency is the big thing here. If you feel like it's needed, it's probably needed. Don't forget to check out and cite where AI gets information from in its responses as well, especially sources for research, and check them out for bias and accuracy. Next, be careful what you're sharing with Gemini in prompts, and never share any personal details like your name, phone number, address, or other identifying or sensitive information. Take a look at the privacy settings and consider using a school account if your college offers it, as there's many more restrictions on what Google can do with the data than on a personal account. Gemini usually stores data linked to your Google account, so do be mindful of what you share. Before I go, I want to talk quickly about effective prompt engineering to get the most out of Gemini. In simple terms, prompt engineering is the process of designing a prompt to guide an AI model to give you the information that you need. In order to do this, it's important to be specific and pay attention to details like context and grammar. Instead of prompting Gemini to, for example, tell me about World War II, which brings up a sort of general, unfocused summary, we can also try other prompts that are more tailored to get a more specific result. So, for example, I will type in an alternative prompt, explain the main socioeconomic factors that led to World War II in Europe, focusing on the years 1930 through 1939. And this will get me a much more focused, specific response with relevant information. As you saw with GEMS, Gemini can also act in a certain role or persona for a more targeted response too. So if you haven't tried that out, I would definitely recommend it for studying, as it's a really great tool as well. Other tips for engineering better prompts are to ask Gemini for step-by-step thinking or a breakdown of its response, which can help you understand and follow how it came to its answer more clearly. You can also give context and examples when you can, and this can help you get the information that you're looking for without having to ask a bunch of follow-up questions. And if your first prompt does not come to doesn't come up with what you're looking for, try rephrasing it or adding a tone suggestion. For example, you can tell it to respond more casually if you're asking for text generation or something like that. You can also limit it to a word count, or have more direct follow-up questions to try and tailor your response. Finally, use AI only when you need to. It is tempting to spend forever messing around with it, but we are increasingly seeing the negative environmental effects of AI use, including excessive freshwater consumption and pollutants. So be thoughtful and specific to get what you need efficiently without creating excess waste. Now, nearing the end of this video and at the end of this internship, I did want to talk for just a second about some of my thoughts and takeaways from the experience. Going in, I had an interest in AI, but I hadn't really taken the time to explore it at any meaningful depth. Now, having spent some more time researching, I can say I am constantly amazed at how quickly technology is always developing and the new uses people are finding for tools in AI every single day. You can't go a month or even a week or so without some new announcement, feature, or development that could change the way we work in the future. AI is getting so smart and capable that it can be hard to keep up and understand its real impact, and increasingly the integration is amazing. It's integrated into every aspect of society, so educating yourself now is a great investment. Everything from Instagram ads to fast food orders and resume screenings are all being impacted by AI, so it is important to know how they work, and learning how to use them ethically and to your advantage will undoubtedly serve you well in the future. In regards to Gemini, as you can see, it's extremely powerful. It's a great tool for students in the humanities, and I do encourage you to experiment yourself with Gemini and look into prompt engineering and explore the features. It's a valuable tool to incorporate into your academic journey and studies, and exciting new features and updates come out all the time, so go check it out. You can find it either just on the Gemini mobile app or just search Google Gemini to get the web version. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments, and if you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to the AI for the Humanities YouTube channel for more content on various AI topics and models. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Thank you again for watching AI for the Humanities, and thank you, Catherine, for this comprehensive exploration of Google Gemini's capabilities. As Catherine has demonstrated, Gemini offers remarkable tools for humanities work. deep research that synthesizes complex topics, customizable gems that serve as specialized tutors, and image generation that helps visualize concepts. These represent genuine advances in accessibility and efficiency for humanities research. But Catherine's presentation also exemplifies the critical approach we need. Notice how consistently she emphasizes verification, citation, and AI's limitations, reminding us that AI should be a starting point, not a final product, and cannot replace the critical thinking and cultural nuance essential to humanities inquiry. Her discussion of prompt engineering reveals something important. Crafting clear, contextual prompts requires the same careful thinking that goes into formulating good research questions. These are fundamentally humanistic skills applied to a new kind of interlocutor. Catherine's comparative analysis, showing how Gemini performs against ChatGPT, Claude, and Copilot, illustrates that different tools have different strengths. Our choice should align with our specific needs and values, just as there's no single best research methodology. Her emphasis on ethical consideration deserves special attention. The biases in AI training data, environmental costs, transparency, and privacy protection aren't afterthoughts. They're central concerns that should shape every decision about using these tools. As humanities scholars, we're uniquely positioned to keep these ethical questions at the forefront. I'm struck by Catherine's observation about how rapidly AI is developing and how thoroughly it's integrated into our lives, often without our full awareness. This makes AI literacy essential. We need to understand these systems to participate meaningfully in decisions about how they're developed, deployed, and regulated. The skills Catherine has demonstrated, critical evaluation, thoughtful prompt design, attention to ethics, commitment to verification, will become increasingly valuable. But they're especially crucial in the humanities, where our mission is to understand complex human meaning, culture, and values. I encourage you to take Catherine's advice. Experiment with AI tools thoughtfully. Use them for research, but verify and cite appropriately. Work efficiently, but don't let efficiency become your primary value. And always center the human creativity, judgment, values, relationships in your use of these technologies. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. Let us know in the comments, how are you using AI in your humanities work? What ethical challenges have you encountered? Thank you, Catherine, for your excellent work, and thank you all for being part of the AI for the Humanities community. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep centering the human in our technological future.
Started with a simple search. Tell me about the Renaissance. But the answer felt too broad, too thin. So I learned to ask again. Deep research through endless pages, synthesizing different ages. The printing press, humanist thought, all the connections that I sought. Specificity is key in the questions that we ask. Context shapes the answers form. This is our human task. We're asking questions of the machine, but keeping our humanity. It's a tool to help us see, not a replacement for what we believe in. Critical thinking, citation clean. We're asking questions of the machine. Questions of the machine. Built a gem to understand literary themes in Dickens' hand. It finds the metaphors I need, but my analysis must lead. Generate an image bright, Renaissance in pixeled light. But accuracy's my first concern. There's still so much we need to learn. Compare the models, test them out, find what each one does the best. ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. It's not about who wins the test. We're asking questions of the machine, but isn't yours. Don't forget to cite your sources. Privacy matters, bias shows. These are things we need to know. Every query, every search uses water, uses power. The environment pays the cost. Be efficient, don't get lost. Socioeconomic factors, World War II, years 1930 through 39. The prompt gets better when it's clear, when the details all align. Step by step it breaks it down, shows me how it found its way. But verification's still on me, I'm the scholar at the end of day. We're asking questions of the machine, but keeping our humanity. It's a tool to help us see, not a replacement for what we believe in. Critical thinking, citation clean, in ethics, privacy, and what we mean. We're asking questions of the machine, questions of the machine. We're asking questions of the machine, questions of the machine. Quick acknowledge it develops fast. Every week there's something new. But the questions that we ask, they reveal what we value, they reveal the truth. So let's experiment and learn. Use these tools thoughtfully, because the humanities still matter most. The human in the machine.